Thumbs up. Thank you once more or once again, our Kitwek members. Ah, give it kidogo time, kidogo. Kidogo too. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is MC Jeff, and I'll be your MC for this debate. And I want to welcome you all people online and here tonight in Tortil College. We're here live bringing you a real debate for our aspirants or candidates for the position of President Kitwek 2024. I want to welcome you, the online family, the Kitwek online family, and all the diaspora. I see Alfred Koech, Ambassador mwenyewe yake iko live, and we want to say thank you very much. This is a big achievement and progress, and we want to thank the organizers and the people who planned and thought for this to happen. Now, members, allow me to we quickly do the national anthem for Australia and followed by the Kenyan national anthem. DJ, can we stand up, please?
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth fertile, our home is God by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you very much. DJ, may we have our seats? Um, Ladies and gentlemen, again, it is this opportunity that we acknowledge the custodian of the land that we meet today, the land which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respect to elders past and current and the emerging. Now, it is now the time that we've all been waiting right from the time we started the processes of election of Kitwek RWA. This is so big. It is amazing, as I said, and it is a step forward, and the gear is really going up. Please, ladies and gentlemen, can we applause the entire organizers of Kitwek Association? At this point in time, allow me to welcome Dr. Chemutai to come and take us through the rules and the regulations of our engagement of today. But before that, there are very special people that we are here because of them. The people who expressed their interest of becoming the president of our beloved association, Kitwek, Western Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to welcome them? Are we ready for them? Are we ready for these awesome and great volunteers and the champions of the community? We honor both of them, all of them, as three, because it is a bold step for you to present your name forward. Allow me to welcome, starting with Godwin, aspirant Godwin, please. May you come and set your seat, take your seat. Is Godwin in? All right. Then if Godwin is not there, allow me to welcome Samuel or Sami Muten. Can you please, makofi ya Sami Muten anapokam kutake position. Please, can we be upstanding? Karibu sana mheshimiwa Sami Muten. Asante sana. Take your seat. All right. Thank you very much, Sami Muten. We're so much honored to have you tonight, and we want to applaud you for taking that bold step to apply or present to yourself as the aspirant of or the candidate of the presidency of Kitwek Association, WA. And our final candidate is none other than Kitwek President Ezra. Please, makofi ya Ezra anapokuja kuchukua kiti. Thank you, President Ezra is the serving president of the Kitwek Association. Please have your seat. Thank you very much. Again, Ezra, we want to thank you very much for taking a bold step to applying for the position of the president of Kitwek Association 2024. Makofi yake tena. Now, we need to always in each and every environment or meeting or any kind of contest, there are rules and regulations so that we can proceed from there. And allow me to welcome Dr. Chemutai to come and set the rules for the engagement today. Karibu sana daktari, makofi ya daktari.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Thank you so much, Sami Muten and Ezra Teriot. It is just amazing to have a contestant to have this debated. And we are so privileged that myself, Alfred Coet, and MC Jeff are able to take you through this. But before we can have a bit of fun with this, we need to have some rules, just so we know how we're going to go about this. And let's be mindful that we're not just addressing ourselves here. We have people online. So we'd just also like to welcome you and hope you can enjoy this together with us. And we can learn a lot about, not just about our people, but also about our community. Who knows, next year it could be you guys sitting at this side. So today, take your note and pad, write down some notes because you can go do better. Next year, you'll be sitting here and we'll be done answering those questions. So I just want a few things. When I was asked to be one of the moderators, one of the things I thought, who's going to come up with all these questions? But I have not come up with any of them. All the questions that will be answered today is from the community. So when you're responding, just remember you're answering the people themselves care so much about this community and they have sent these questions. We got a total of 33 questions. Amazing. So we've tried to group them around a similar theme so that we're not sort of going back and forth. So can I request that as you answer the question, could you please address one issue at a time? We have so many other questions, so stick to the point, stick to what you're being asked, and in as much detail as you can within the 2 minutes that are allocated. And in the 2 minutes, at the end of it, if you have a question for your opponent, that is the time you can challenge it. but you don't have to challenge every single thing that is said. The other thing, can I also, this is just because we live in different times. Everything we say, we're online, things are recorded. So for the sake of all of us, just remember what we say sometimes will hold power even years later. Next time Muteni you're running for president of Kenya, utakumbusha. We've all been seeing the news and we're seeing the kind of questions Ruto is being asked for what he said in 1991. So take note of that just for the sake of all of us. Remember, we take responsibility over what we say. The choice of language that we use for one another here, and even the audience. When you get a chance, if you like a point, it's okay to clap, but let's be respectful. Remember, the questions have come from you. So give them the time, the chance to answer those questions. So so if we can just remember, we have 2 minutes. It's so important that we keep that time. And if at the end we have a bit of extra time, who knows, we might be able to go into that. Phones switched off or at least in quiet mode so that we don't interrupt these proceedings. Thank you and very much welcome to these events. And I'm going to start off with the first question, which is really to give you a chance for an opening statement. You get 2 minutes. You can say who you are and why you want to do this. It's your chance to open up. And maybe we will give the chance to Sami Muten. Karibu sana.
Just it. All right, thank you. To the moderators, thanks for bringing us here tonight. To the viewers online and to all the participants here today, good evening, everyone. My name is Sami Muten, and I'm vying for the president of Kitwek Association 2024-2025 year. And I have been a member of Kitwek Association since its inception. I am among the founder members. And at this time, we are looking at my vision. And my vision is to take Kitwek Association to steer the association to higher sites. And this has been our dream when we started it in our backyards a decade ago. And that is my vision. And the mission is to actually integrate Kitwek Association into the WA community. We are no longer going to call ourselves people from Kenya or migrants. We are going to call ourselves part of the WA community. We are taxpayers, and therefore we need to enjoy the taxes that are here. So that is me, Sami Muten. And I stand here before you today as an aspirant or as a candidate in this year's election, and I believe that I've got the powers. Maybe I'll enumerate my strengths at a later time. This is just an introduction. And I came to Australia 2010, the first month. And since then, we've had our studies here. We've got permanent residency here. And that is how we are. And that's how we're going to operate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Ezra Cheruiyot, and I'm honored to be once again seeking the presidency of Kitwek Association for one more term. I have had the privilege and honor of leading this association over the past 2 years as president. And previous to that, I was Secretary General for a couple of years as well. I have had immense experience with this community, and I feel there are a number of things that I can still offer this association. This is a great community that has done a lot, not only for me, but also for ourselves. And it's only deserving that we give these people the best of our efforts. So why am I running again? I am seeking re-election so that I can do the following. First, like I said, I'm seeking re-election so that I can help to craft a strategic plan for Kitwek Association and a welfare sustainability plan. So strategic leadership is top on the agenda of my seeking your vote in the next election. And why is that important? Kitwek has now grown to become a massive movement. We have over 1,000 members in our books. That's a big movement. But where we are at now, for us to be able to move to the next level, we need to be able to do that. Do a strategic plan, welfare sustainability plan, and focus on mentorship as well as focusing on partnerships. We have been able to bring partners over the past couple of years, but I would like to broaden and deepen so that we can get more funding for the association. So I'm running so that we can be more united, more cohesive, and more prosperous people. Thank you.
That was on point. Okay, gentlemen, thank you also for coming in and having heard about your visions. We go straight to the point that members have sent it through in regards to your plans that you have for the community. So starting from Ezra, it appears that membership during attendance of AGM is very low. That is from the members, and they say that those who do attend very few compared to Gala, which is very unique one every year. So the members are asking that how would you improve this, that during AGMs and special meetings, members would be able to come in numbers, because these are the moments and time that many important matters are being discussed, and people need to come in to join to make those decisions.
Thank you. Now, one thing that we realize is that attendance is usually an issue. And we do understand, because many of our members probably are running, for an extra coin over the weekend. We have penalty rates. People are going for shifts, and that's understandable. We understand the fact that people are busy, but we would like to call on members as well to get more involved. So yes, I agree that during AGMs, members tend to have low attendance. But if you also notice that attendance seemed to have even gone lower when we went online, because we took the step to also go online to involve other people who are not here. We are a massive state. We have people who are not only located here in Perth, but also located outside in the regions. So because I think one of the factors is that because we took the step to go online, many members do not bother to come and attend in person. And secondly, we have also not had major issues that members may consider to be groundbreaking. Most of the time we get reports, and members go through the reports online. They are shared on our platforms. One factor that I think would be important going forward is to engage the members more, even if it's online, for them to be able to contribute to the proceedings of AGMs and take votes. For example, in consequential votes that we need to have, we can create a link where members can join and participate actively in our AGMs, so that the presence is not just physical. What is important is member participation, even if they are not there physically. As long as a member participates, that should be fine. So creating links where members can participate meaningfully would be a great step. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And for that question about participation during AGMs and other special events, number one is that online attendees is always recorded as well. So we will be looking at the online attendees, what are their numbers, and the physical presence, what their numbers, and we need to look at what exactly is making people not to attend. In my view, it is a personal drive. We need to be there physically all the time, so that like yesterday or most of the other children affairs, when we, the parents, are there, then all our numbers increase. And what over time, what we have realized is that when we associate each other with each other all the time, I will be running to an organization to see that when I know that my friend so and so will be there, my friend so and so will be there. So all of us we will be having points to present. And normally we always have to go back and always discuss what is going to be said. So that is the drive that will make us come. We need to encourage more people to discussing what is being brought and coming exactly to the floor. That is, I think, what will make us have more numbers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. In regards to that, and then I also wish to ask a question in regards to welfare, that the welfare membership compared to that of the general public is very low. What will be your initiation in bringing everyone on board to be a welfare member? And also in regards to the welfare as well, there are those people whom are inactive. They are members, but they're inactive. How would you be able to encourage people to make their dues on time and also not be inactive? Because we've been having cases of people being active members in terms of members, but they're not active in terms of payment. And that is currently having. So you can go fast, Muten.
Thank you very much for that. What we're going to say about that is that we want to recruit more members into the welfare, such that what happens is we always feel the pinch. If we are very few people, like 100 members, and we are given out an X amount of money, then if we are few, means we will be reimbursing much from our bodies. But if we had more members registered and being active, would mean that if we are 500, we will be paying like $10 or $5. But if we were 100, we will be paying 50 and more. So in my view, all we will need is recruit more members and encourage those guys who are already registered to pay the little amount which would have been necessitated by our bigger numbers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welfare is the heartbeat of our association. As a matter of fact, the reason why we exist as a people is so that we can take care of each other. We used to say we are so far from home, but no, we no longer say that. We are home now. And one of the ways of making Australia home is for us to be able to care for each other. Now, we realize that about less than half of all our total membership are welfare members that are registered. And only about a third of welfare members are actually inactive. So 2/3 are active. What we need to do is to be able to actually call each other and encourage each other to be active. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, sisi ni mizigo wa kila mtu. We are each other's burden, let me put it that way. Because whether we like it or not, if something happens to you, I'm culturally obligated to support you. So that's why I put at the top of my priority for, if given the mandate, to focus on welfare sustainability. One, to make sure that everyone that is registered in welfare becomes active. And we will engage physically. You'll engage making calls to make sure that, making follow-ups to make sure that each of us is active. Next, we need to make sure that the other members who are not in welfare, who are more than 600, so more than 600 of our members are not in welfare. We need to make sure that all those people, or at least 80% of those people, are back in welfare. And that, I think many of our people respond to actually physically calling and making personal follow-ups. So that is something that I would endeavor to do, working with the welfare team, focusing on welfare sustainability. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ezra and Sami. And this is a very interesting and wonderful um, question that needs to very intense and respond. Now, it doesn't mean that I want to scare you, but it's really very important for us to really have a feedback on this one. Now, how will you, and I will start with Sami, how will you work out to have one Kitwek association in the entire Australia instead of having chapters? And tell us how you're going to midwife this process. And I'm going to combine with another question. And this one I'm going to ask you in Kalenjin. Chang lago anan wanafunzi chikikopo Australia. Ako chang jeto kumisang jeto mo ko joinen Kitwek. Ne process anan ne plano tinye so kobit oichi wanafunzi anan pichu chang chuko ko jeto kumisang yun. Kongoi.
All right. Thanks for that question. And I think maybe that is a question that would need more time because now it's 2 questions. And I think there's no problem. I may try to catch up with it. Now, I think I'm going to start the other way around, not as you presented. Reasons being that in membership, we need to recruit more members into our organizations in all the states. Now, many people are coming in and not knowing that everybody qualifies to be a member of this Kitwek association. So there has been a mentality out there that Kitwek belongs to the older generation or the people who had come early. So we need to tell them and market our organizations out there because I'm a marketer by profession. And someone would need to buy a product, they've got a clear understanding about it. So we will need to go out there and recruit everybody who comes in and say, this is our organization and it's for all of us. Now, going back to all the other states, now we are so happy that we started Kitwek organization in WA and all the other states have taken cue. Now, what is so important is the success of Kitwek Association in Western Australia will inspire the other states to come in and we will need to, because we are the bigger brother, so we'll need to inspire other states that we come up together. And to come up together, we will have to create a rotational kind of meeting, so much so that we'll be sending, if not leaders alone, it is events. When they have events, we go. When we have events, they come. That is how we are going to start with. And then after that is when we will form committees and research teams to steer all the organizations to come together. People have to sit so that they can make decisions. It is so much. We need to have something like a task force because which involves the elected leaders and the community leaders in all the other states. Asanteni, I hope I tried. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have a rebuttal, let us know that way we can work on the time as well. Yeah. But maybe after the section.
Thank you so much. Now, I would like to report that that is actually happening at the moment. And I'm honored to have been involved with supporting our sister associations across other states in setting up or in setting up the other structures, whether it's constitutions or setting up welfare, for example, and other organs. So I have been part and parcel of the process of supporting our sister associations, and we have a platform already. Many of our members do not know this, but we do have a WhatsApp group of leaders from all our states where we communicate and we share ideas. And if there's any issue, we usually, so that's at that level, we are able to discuss that. So I'd like to report that, yes, we do have that level of engagement at the moment. All we need to do is to take it a notch higher, because at the moment, most of the time, our activities happen in our various associations, in our various states, which is understandable because Australia is such a country. However, we should be able to be able to meet together at least once a year. That's an idea that we could consider. When we went to Adelaide, for example, for the South Australia Gala last year, this is something that we discussed at length with other leaders. We discussed and looked at opportunities for us to be able to meet together, to consider one big event where most of us in various states would be able to engage. Because we are bigger together, we are better together. So that's one way in which we can engage. We have this platform; it already exists. But what we need to do is to deepen our engagement. Now, ketep ngolyotab kilyojin lagok che anan ko biik chekotakoitu anan ko chekotakoitwoin kobwone Australia ako tomo kojoinen associations cheu Kitwek. Netai ko achek chekihosteni biik kenome chito eut konyo sikosich kosetlan eng emoni konyolu keeku ambassadors chetai chebo associations chekyok. Yo kilechini chito mi police clearance, mite ne nemakat, ko agenge eng tuguk chenyolu kemwochi ko mi Kitwek anan ko association neu Kitwek ngot ko state age. Koek agenge eng tuguk che integral chebate koek agenge eng tuguk chenyolu kwai chito, because that is really important. It's important for us to be able to plug into a community. So marketing by those of us who host people, as well as marketing, we can even consider, for example, going to orientation days and having our tent as Kitwek there in our various universities. That is something that we have been toying around the idea with, and that's something to consider. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry I've gone over time.
No worries. Yeah, it was two questions actually in one. Yeah, thank you very much, gentlemen. And again, I come back. The Kitwek members are very keen and they want to know about how the incoming president is going to be part of the process of uniting with other African association or communities, and especially in making or in setting up the African hub in WA. And how will these align with Kitwek strategic plan going forward? And I'll start with you, President Ezra.
Thank you. Collaboration with other associations is one of the top priorities and objectives of Kitwek Association. We are not an island. As an association, we are part of the bigger brotherhood or sisterhood of other associations, either biik kutit, anan ko biik Kenya, anan ko biik Africa. And we are honored to be actively engaged with the African associations. So yes, we are part of OAU and we participate actively with OAC, sorry, it's not OAU, with OAC meetings. We are actively, you are well aware that every time the OAC has an event, we have our Kitwek tent there, and we have been actively engaged with them as well as with their leadership. So we are engaged both at the leadership level as well as at the level of having common events. That is something that we are keen on. Now, one of the ways that we usually we are looking forward to is sharing resources together, because oftentimes the umbrella association for African communities is the OAC, and oftentimes they are well funded because of course they are the bigger association. And so I have personally engaged the president of the OAC to consider donating maybe a day of a project officer to be able to work for Kitwek Association. Because let's face it, volunteering is not sustainable. Volunteering is not sustainable. And for them, at least they have somebody that is paid for. So we have been engaging to see if that is possible, so that we at least have a day in which we have somebody who is paid for to work for Kitwek. That way we can collaborate in a way that they benefit as well as we benefit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On that question, and what I'm going to state is that we are lucky as a community. Like inside this hall now, we are having people who have been leaders in other organizations. We have had presidents of KCWA being coming from the community. We have sports managers in various African organizations that are here. So we are actually represented. And the lucky part is that it is now us that we team up together with our representatives in those organizations, that we tap the information that is needed so that they can be our ambassadors. They are there already and they are working for us. And that is one of the big achievements. Now, it is not enough to have those people there. What are they bringing here to us is what is very important. And that is why in my opening statement I said we want to integrate Kitwek Association into the WA communities. It is not about registration that is enough. We want to benefit directly from the taxes, not from grants. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be lenient and in agreement with other moderators to you. There's a question that I asked you in the same with OAC, the African communities, and especially in setting up the African hub. I did mention that, and how does this align with Kitwek's, and how are you going to, what is your participation in terms of in setting up the African hub in Perth? What will be your participation, and how is that going to align with Kitwek strategic plan and mission and vision?
Right. So I briefly mentioned, thank you for going back to that question because it's a broad question. So I earlier mentioned that that collaboration is a key element of our objective. If you look at the Kitwek Constitution, collaborating with other organs and other associations is an important aspect of our association. And not only that, it's a cultural thing because we are part of the greater community. The greater community, the Kenyan community as well as the African. So how does it align with the Kitwek strategic plan? To begin with, we don't have a strategic plan. And that's why I'm running. So I'm running to create one. And the presumption that a strategic plan is needed just goes on to show why my candidature is important. Because I'm running to be able to create a strategic plan that aligns our values and our mission and shows us where we'd like to go into the future, where welfare is, what are our strategic pillars, what are our objectives, and so on. So, but I understand the question to be meaning, so how does it align with the bigger vision of the association? It does align because we are not here as an island, as I said. So if you would like the specifics of how we would go about that is, of course, engagement, whether it is at the level of leaders as well as at the level of membership. Yeah, the level of membership. We have always been very active. We give the OAC president complimentary tickets to come to our association. We engage at that level. I remember when we were setting up the Kiswahili school, for example, the president OAC, the former president Joe Tuozama, was one of the key people whom I consulted on how we are going about this. And when I did the grant application, I was able to source the 33,600 that comes to this through this association to the Kiswahili language school, courtesy of some of the advice that I received from him. That is how close the collaboration is. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And as I said before, or as my president has said, we are not an island. And we are working. We need to work with other organizations. OAC encompasses all of us, like AOU previously when we were back home. We were having rotational presidency. So that is what we want now. We cannot be talking about leadership when we ourselves are not at the helm of managing the organization. So we need to have structures, to have rotational leadership. And it's our right. We cannot belong to an organization and then we are not allowed to lead. So that is one of the things that we're going to fight for. And now I want to have a rebuttal on my president. My president has been in office for 4 years. Number one, and both of them in strategic positions. Being a Secretary General means you have all the documentations. You need to prepare all the documentations. So you needed to have done that in the 2 years that you were the SG. Now you become a president for 2 years and you had not done what you should have been doing. So the issue of setting a strategic plan, I think we are coming to do it, and because it was not done in the 4 years, and in the previous 4 years, and in the previous 2 years. So that is what you're coming for. Thank you.
Definitely. Of course. Believe you me, I have not been sitting pretty. I have not been sitting pretty and taking a cup of tea. There is no office, unfortunately. Now, strategic planning was initially part of what we were supposed to do last year. But we realized that there is a baby that was born in Kitwek called the Kiswahili Language School. And it was teetering on collapse. And if we left that baby would have simply collapsed. The Kiswahili Language School would have collapsed. So we realized that we really needed to concentrate on stabilizing the Kiswahili Language School, and it took a lot of our strategic time. We used to meet regularly, nearly every week or every couple of weeks, to make sure that the Kiswahili Language School is on solid footing. And that is why, courtesy of my leadership, I was able to secure $33,600 from the federal government and an additional $6,000, totaling nearly $40,000 for Kiswahili Language School. Now the Kiswahili Language School is stable. So Kiswahili Language School became a serious strategic area that we had to focus on because the school was almost collapsing. We all know, and you are a parent. You are a parent and you almost saw it collapse. And so I had to come in to be able to fund it so that your child and my child can attend the Kiswahili Language School. Now that that is stable, we are now back to looking at the strategic planning element, which I believe I am uniquely placed to do that, to deliver that. One, because I have the experience, I have done it previously. Second, I have the training. I have training in project management, which encompasses that. So I believe that at this point in time, this is the man to deliver this. Thank you.
Are you happy with that answer?
Of course, you cannot be counting the previous 2 years when I was Secretary General, because there were other issues that we really needed to focus on. The circumstances at that time were totally different. We had a lot of other issues in the community that the former president was grappling with, and it was his agenda that we were pursuing. Thank you.
All right. We go back to Kiswahili School, and obviously before getting into the Kiswahili School, as Secretary General is a very senior position in every organization. And if you cannot steer because you have other issues, then there's a gap. It is better the president because more of the presidency is a little bit more ceremonial. Now, let's go to Kitwek School and we go to the history, I think, how we began. Kiswahili School, we started as a parent. We would have our children there and we volunteered, and the teachers were volunteers as well. And we worked until we had set up a funding and we got the grants from the previous president. We got the grants and we had the children there. So the thing that happened there was the president himself was a parent and was with us all the time. And we were happy as parents to have a president where we would be talking, as the kids are in class, we are talking of how to run about it. And for funding to be given, there are two major components. The first component is the curriculum, and the second component is the enrollment. So we factored in that, and it worked well. Now, what happened is, after Kiswahili school was, I just have to look for a word, but someone would help me get a word, a decent word, that Kiswahili school went to KCWA. And it was said it's a big organization, and it could be possible that it went to KCWA, and from there it is still a strategic team that is responsible for doing all the documentation. It is not done by one person or two person or three people. It's quite a big team, because we are there, we get the communication. So it is a teamwork, and I believe if a new person comes, it will still be the teamwork that will steer Kiswahili school to grow bigger and take benefit of the funds that are already there. And Kiswahili school, as it is now, it has been taken by KCWA. It is not going to be a major thing in Kitwek Association unless we want to bring it back to Kitwek Association. Thank you.
So the question, Mheshimiwa, before we continue, is if you become president, would you bring Kiswahili back, or will you leave it to Kiswahili?
Now, because Kiswahili school is already taken, and the paperwork that was done with to get the funding, the current funding, is not in Kitwek, it is in KCWA.
Thank you. I'm really happy that we are discussing this, because if there is anyone who understands where Kiswahili language school started, I think I'm at a position to speak to that. I did the business case that started the school. I drafted it. I drafted the constitution. And then we spoke with the president, we presented to the TLT, the leadership team accepted, and then we held meetings with OMI. That's how it started. We now did EOIs to parents. Parents came in, they brought the children. And it has been a journey, sometimes not stable, but we have helped. Now, the way the Kiswahili language school was registered is that it is registered independent as an institution, the Perth Kiswahili Language School. So even right now, it is not necessarily an organ of KCWA. It is only under the management of KCWA in terms of funding, reporting, acquittal, and that sort of thing. So the way we are working this year, because we are in transition, is that the Kitwek Association applied for funding to support the school. So when I applied for the 33,000, we received the funding as Kitwek. And right now, the funding is with the association. And we will be supporting the school even from here. Now, KCWA will receive some other funding to support the school. There is a board that supports the school. So now we sit in the board as an association, as well as KCWA leadership sits at the board. And that is how we manage the affairs of the school. So if anyone else brings funding, it's okay for them to manage the funding, because funding, whoever applies for the funding will be responsible for reporting and acquitting. So we receive the funding and we will support the school, even though it's at the level of reporting to the Department of Communities. It is the KCW that is doing it. But for the federal grant that we received, we are the ones doing it. I hope that's clear. So the notion that Kiswahili school was taken, and the reason is, this needs to be understood. The Kiswahili language school needed to have a better catchment for more parents. and the outlook that this is it's beyond a Kenyan, it's a Kenyan or East African thing. That's why we needed it. Yeah.
Hello. Just a quick from the online, they want to know what KCWA is, and then we'll finish up with that question.
The Kenya community in Western Australia is the umbrella body of Kenyans in Western Australia. So that is the umbrella body. We have other communities like Kitwek, but the umbrella body for Kenyan associations is the Kenyan community in Western Australia. So basically that's what is happening. So going forward, if I become president again in the next year, I would not be looking at saying that I'm bringing back the Kiswahili school, because I'm comfortable where it is. I'm comfortable supporting and sourcing for funds through the Kitwek Association and promoting our members to supply children and also our people to volunteer as teachers and so on. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now it's clear that Kiswahili school is gone, and he has clarified.
Moving
There's
on
no
to
doubt about it. He will be in the next election, when he is elected next, he will be happy. He'll be happy to sort for funds for Kiswahili school as it is and fund it as it is. We have no problem with that. Now we are going to look future on what to do. However, still, we have a problem. We have to work hard about it. We handed over Kiswahili school to KCWA, but what is the enrollment? 2 weeks ago, before the schools closed, I think we had the AGM we had our AGM, what was it? Welfare AGM, and we occupied the hall that is the classrooms, so they had to close the school early. The previous week we had 4. So we are in a problem already. So enrollment of 4, and that is the critical component of funding. So we will need to work hard on that. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on from that question. So I'll stay with you, Mr. Muten. How would you define integrity? And how would you ensure both personal and organizational integrity is upheld within Kitwek Association?
Thank you very much. Number 1, history would show a person. Your lifestyle determines your integrity. If you are not perfect with your close friend, and if you leak from point A to point B, what was in point A gets to point B and gets to point C, your integrity goes towards 0. So we want to have a situation where what is in point A and is agreed to be issues of point A remains in point A. And that is me. I am very straightforward. I don't beat about the bush. If I have an issue, I believe I have the capacity to go direct on it than to say it instead of saying direct, I have to go through someone. I have that capacity. So my personal integrity is there for all to see. I've lived in WA for quite some time, not more than you, of course. Yeah, we came after you, so at least I have people who have been with me, and that is who I am.
It has been suggested that integrity refers to who you are and what you do when no one is seeing. And I believe my record bears me witness that I purpose to do the right thing in the right way. And so that is a cardinal principle of my life, and in also as well as in my professional as well as in my community life. I have been in the community as well as in this association, and you will bear witness, especially for members that know how we deal with organization issues, that we always attempt. Personally, I always attempt to make sure that we do the right thing the right way, because integrity is not an option. Integrity is a must. We must make sure that all that we do is above board, because that is the law, and we must abide by it. It's not just a moral issue, it's a legal issue as well, because that is the law, and we must abide by it. Because if there is an issue with Kitwek Association, the first person to take the fall is the president. Yeah, and so I make sure that what I do is above board, whether it's financial, whether it's whatever. We make sure that everything is above board. And so I can confirm to you that the association is safe in my hands. Thank you.
Thank you for those two answers. So if you win, how do you want to be held accountable? How will you stay impartial as a president of a diverse Kalenjin community? Let me begin. Let me stay with you and then off to you.
Thank you. Accountability is an important thing. And if you look at the Kitwek Association, constitution, it says that the leadership is accountable to its members. So I am held accountable by the members. Of course, I'm answerable to them and I'm accountable to them, and they can action can be taken against me in the numerous ways that are available, both in our constitution as well as in the various legal systems in this country. So how am I accountable? I am accountable to the members, and I will make sure that I continue communicating with them. They are aware of what's going on through the organs of the association, so that they are in touch with what is happening. They are aware of why we are doing what we are doing. So that is how I'll be held accountable. Now, we have a diverse Kalenjin community. We have, all of us, we are so many, but I will work impartially, whether you belong to my clan or not. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Accountability, that is a big one. And we are happy we are having a big discussion about it. Accountability goes together with duty of care. You have to care about the people that you're running. And in my view, I am present. I've decided to dedicate 100% of my time here. Previously, in the previous elections, I had divided my life both in Kenya and in Perth. And that is why I did not run for that position, despite being the founder member. Is because I didn't want to have two hats. Amongst the Kalenjins, we say, that means you cannot do business on the other end and running business on this end. That would erode accountability. Now I'm here 100%. I'm a Perth resident 100%, and it will give me the duty of care to attend to every event that happens within the organization. And that is where members would see us, and if they have to judge me on how I present my issues. And the beauty is that we are building Kitwek not for now, but for posterity. And the intrinsic support that makes me think about that future is that the children are here, and we came for the children. So those kids would need to be here and enjoy Kitwek in the later years to come. Thank you.
Just a moment for rebuttal, if there's any, before we move on to the next question.
Okay, we are all good. Thank you very much for all your ideas and sharing. Another question is that, do you have a plan? And if you have a plan, because there's someone who told us they have a plan and the book lost somewhere. So do you have a plan, and what's your plan for the next, for the first 100 days in office? And what are some of the quick wins within that period and time that you may be able to share for us?
All right. Thank you very much. And as we stand, or as we offer ourselves for leadership, it is that you have a plan that you've thought about. So number one is that we want to make Kitwek Association to be recognized. We want it to be known in W that we are present. And the first thing is that all over the world, people know the Kalenjins as the champions. So to be known, being a marketer by profession, to be known is that you have to present a color there. So I will want our members that we register in the charity runs that are done within Perth, say that if we have 500 people in a corporate color, it will be a plus. People would be asking, who are those? And when we are there, that will open doors for any other questions, for any other assistance that we will need. So that is number one, and the city to serve, and that charity marathons are there. The other plan is sports, is that we are building for our children. We need to have a sports team, and so that we can bring all of us together, that in the long run we will be having a sports venue. We need a home ground. We don't want to be just going to higher places all over the time. So we need to have a club that will take all the Kitwek events, whether for the seniors or the juniors. And the most important thing is that yesterday we had our kids there. So we have the under 10s and we have the teens, and then we will have the youth. And the youth typically are those who arrive from Kenya. But we are coming up with our teenagers, and which they don't have a space there. So we will need to look at that space for the youths who are preteens and who are born here. That is where we have the problem. And once we have that transition from children to teens to the youth, that is where we'll have the curve going up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ezra.
Thank you. Kitwek is well known in Western Australia. So it is a big brand name at the moment. What's my plan going forward if my mandate is renewed on Saturday? I will move with speed to make sure that I set up a team that does what I would call a needs assessment survey that works towards our strategic plan. That's really my focus if I'm to be elected. Do a survey of what the members need, and then through that survey, we now work towards building or crafting the plan that will guide us for the future. And the reason why I keep coming to the strategic instrument is because in this state, for us to be able to get, Sami says that we should go for taxes and not grants. Grants are taxes anyway. And for us to be able to get the grants worth 30,000, 50,000, because we are a big community, we need the strategic plan, strategic instrument. And really, we need to focus on that so that we can deepen the networks that we have and work towards the events. The events that he's talking about, the sports events and all these things. We really need to go for those bigger funds. The 5,000 grants at the moment, they are welcome, and we are really grateful that these grants are available. But Kitwek is at the level now where not only do members would be contributing, but we also need to go for the 30, 50,000 so that we can plan for 2 years. My plan was to be able to look at a way in which we work for, get funds for 2 years, get funds for 3 years. And that's what we have done with the Australia Post. We are funded up to next year for mental health, and Kiswahili School is funded for 2 years. So I'll work for the plan, strategic plan. Thank you.
You have a counter or
It's not a counter really, but
an add-on?
it's about the management.
Okay.
So we walked in. I don't think we had any introduction. And number two, we don't know what time we are having. Like we just started. We don't know we are running for 2 hours or we are running for 3 hours, so that we have a list of things that we may prioritize or leave it for a later time. So we need clarity in that.
Okay, thanks for that, Mheshimiwa, and thanks for the correction. I think we still got another around 40 minutes to finish off, so less than 40 minutes. So we meant to finish at 7:45, so we had at 7:10. So we have about another 35 minutes. Anyway, I'll give it to Jeff so that he can ask the next question.
Thank you very much, Sami and Ezra. I'll go straight to there is microphone that is on. Anyway, how would you, and I'll start with the president, how would you handle conflict in community, and how will you abide by the Kitwek Association Constitution in solving problems and conflicts?
Thank you. Conflict is inevitable, especially where two or more people meet. It is inevitable that there will be conflict. The only difference is that the conflict may not be big. Thankfully, we are a community that has structures, cultural ones, as well as constitutional ones that will help us to, that will help me as the leader to solve conflict. So our Kitwek Constitution has a section on conflict resolution. And if you look at that constitution, that section is very detailed, because these associations are crafted in such a way that for these associations to stand, we need to be able to resolve. So I will follow the dictates of the constitution. I will also make sure that I incorporate other people in the community. We have some elders in our community. We have religious leaders in our community, respectable people in our community. I will plug into those professionals, into those respectable people to be able to resolve whatever conflict at whichever level that I would think. So I will handle it within the level that I would think is appropriate within the dictates of our constitution to make sure that we forge a united community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As President has said, there's bound to be conflicts, and conflicts are of various nature. So depending on the level of each conflict, it should be resolved. And in our community, we say, panapo waze, habaripiki jambo. So the first thing is we don't rush to the constitution. We try to resolve the conflict on the side, and we escalate as it goes. If it cannot be resolved, we go to the constitution, and we will go to the constitution as it is written. So if it cannot be resolved outside, we go to the book. And after going to the book, if you cannot go into the book, then WA is a country of laws. And the minute you talk to WA police, you are sorted. Yeah, so we start with the community to the constitution, and we hand over. That is the process that I think I will take. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, again for your responses and answers. Now, thank God you came up with the issue of the Constitution. Now I want to take you back to the Constitution, to you, Sami. Have you ever gone through the Kitwek Constitution? Are there parts that that may have served the community in the past, but not in the present and the future? And if so, what are your proposals to change the constitution and how it will better the members from now going forward?
All right. Thank you for that. And we have the opportunity that we had to go through the constitution in in anticipation that we would be asked something about the constitution, but now that is a general question. So what will happen is the constitution, if there is an issue, because as an elected president, you swear to protect and preserve. It is the members now who will have issues with the constitution and would want to change, or if yourself, you have the powers to present an issue that you want to be changed, then it will be brought to book and the community would make a decision. And then based on that, if it is a simple issue that needs to be changed, we have no problem with it. We can, if it is an executive issue that can be done, fine. But if it is a major issue in the constitution, then it will go back to the community. Because as executive, we are working on behalf of the community. And it is the community, it is just like in the normal constitution, it belongs to the people. Yeah, so we won't have much. It is until the organization, the people will come and we talk about it. And I'm lucky that the timer did not work.
Thank you. So a constitution, the Kitwek Constitution borrows a lot from the template that's provided by the department, what's available in the departmental website. What I think during founding was that we set up our objectives and the goals of the association and so on. And we left generally, by and large, we left intact most of the other sections. So some of the issues are not major that I would consider if we have outgrown, like those that have to do with thresholds and numbers, they can be looked at because we are now grown as an association. We are 1,000 plus. So those that deal with numbers, thresholds, and so on can be looked at. We can also think about various duties and responsibilities in our constitution and that sort of thing. So there are a number of things in our constitution that can be considered. But even as it is, it still serves us, but it can be made better, definitely.
Okay, next. Tell us of a successful strategic initiative you have led in the past for the Kalenjin community in WA. Though I think you're free to sort of go beyond W if you have an example.
Thank you. I will quote one that we have discussed. Previously. Like I said, I have been integral in the founding and the management of this Kiswahili language school to be able to have our children learning Kiswahili. One might ask, why not Kalenjin? And the reason why we were deliberate on starting a Kiswahili language school is because we would get the support that we need. Because Kiswahili is an important community language in Western Australia and in Australia. So we saw the opportunity for us to be able to teach our children Kiswahili. And the community was very supportive. It was our members that were teachers. Our members brought their children. And the school is now where it is, courtesy of the key role that I have been playing in that school. I have been, virtually all the funding that has come to that school has gone through my hand. Virtually all the reports that have gone through for that school, as well as for the funding that I have mentioned previously, have gone through my hand. I've been passionate about that for us to be able to make sure that we plug our children to part of their East African culture. So one example is one that we have discussed in detail today. The Kiswahili language school has helped our people, both as teachers. And can I confirm here that some of the teachers that taught and volunteered for this school were able to get into the Australian system courtesy of the platform. that this school presented. So thank you so much. The community has been very supportive, and I'm honored to have been part of that success story.
All right. Thank you very much. And if we are to talk about an organization in WA that is working, is that, as you understand, our community are a community of investors. So within us, we have investors who have been doing their small things in their organizations that are private, and they're quite big. And it's organized. It is groups, and I'm a member of a group that is successful, and we are building in Kenya. Number two, I've been a vice chairman of Neema Community Church, and we were talking of we want to build a church. And fact to check that, we are in the tail end of having the 10% deposit so that we can build our church, and it would not take more than this year. So that is a success story that we built. And finally, if we may say, I was a salesman back in Kenya, and we had a SACCO, and I was a vice chairman of the SACCO still, and the SACCO is still running 20 years since I left. So that is Twiga Chemical SACCO, and I'm happy that within WA we have two members. We work together in Twiga Chemicals and are still here. And the one thing that we are saying is successful to my president is Kiswahili School. We are saying it is successful, but we are having, when teachers were there as volunteers, it was a different story. We had students. When there are teachers who are paid, it's the other way around. There are no students. And Kiswahili School, in my view, was not successful because finally it was handed over because we could not manage it. That's my story.
Thank you for that response. Just building on that. Kitwek Association depends on the generosity of its members and the general public for its services. Leading Kitwek is voluntary and requires sacrifices of time and at times other resources. So do you have what it takes to do this? Give examples if possible. I'll stay with you, Mr. Muten.
Thank you very much. Probably this is what I've been waiting for. And I'm very happy you've asked me. I'm in WA. I'm in Perth. I travel 0 kilometers if I have to attend any meeting. I am in WA on a weekend, on a weekday. We can visit any office in a weekend or in the weekday. Now, if someone might fact check for me, my president lives in Kalgoorlie, 700 k's away. And this is voluntary. This is voluntary. That means you must be doing your day-to-day job. How will you travel 700 kilometers if we are to have an event today, which is a Wednesday, and then subsequently we had planned programs for the next weekend? And if someone can fact check for me, the athletics, the Kitwek Athletic Fun Day that we had in Cannington, my president was not there. And it is very big. It is an annual event. My president was not there. And he, as the father figure, does not sound well. And if we go back to prior organizations, when we gave my president the duty of Secretary General, it is voluntary, but he had commitments and he went to New South Wales. When he came back, we gave him the presidency, and part-time party was here on the second term, of which it was negotiated. I had to step down when he said he wants the second term.
I had to step down and said, brother, just to do your 2 terms. And we gave the 2 terms. So this time round, we are really into it. Our members are really talking about availability, and that is the question that you've asked. Thank you very much.
My brother is an accomplished Kenyan politician. Unfortunately, I'm not one. I'm an educationist, I'm a project manager, I'm a consultant, I'm not a politician. So I will not go into the politics side of it. Myself and my team have delivered the great programs that you've been able to partake in. He has mentioned about myself not being available for the athletics event, but he has chosen not to tell you that I was available to welcome the new students. He has not told you that I was available for welfare. So that is the selectiveness that I'm talking about. So I am committed. I can confirm to you that this is 100% voluntary. There are no dollars to it. Lots of emails and a lot of work. And it takes a lot of commitment to be able to be at the helm of this association and actually deliver events and deliver programs. If you talk about the events that we have been running and that we have been making available for our members, it is courtesy of all the work that we are doing, both as the president, as well as the head of the team, as well as the work that happens within the various departments that I lead. So I am committed. I am 100% committed to the association, whether I am here or whether I am a few kilometers away. My commitment to the association is unequivocal. I'm very committed to it. I give it a lot of my time, and that is why part of the successes that we have had this year, he has not told you that, one of the things he has not told you is that part of the successes for this year was $60,000, 40,000 for Kiswahili school and an additional 10,000. That's this year alone, about $50,000 came to the community, courtesy of my leadership. That's commitment. That is burning the midnight oil. That is leadership.
Thank you very much. And what we do is that when elections are called, everybody signs up for a position. I will sign up for a position of Secretary General, and the other person will sign up for a position of welfare leader. Now, everybody is expected to do their job. We don't expect delegation. I am present throughout. I was present in the athletics round and I was present in the others. And if it is doing it is voluntary. I do mentorship up to doing it in my house. I invited the new students who came in last year, and they came to my home, and I brought in people who came to speak to them. So it is a thing that I'm doing. So it is in my DNA. Yeah, and that's it.
Do you have to counter?
30 seconds.
Okay.
Because that needs to be clarified. We work from home. We don't go to the office to work for Kitwek Association. We work from home. And we work by phone calls. We do our Google Meet meetings. And all our meetings are, virtually most of our meetings are online. And we work burning the midnight oil. So physical presence, yes, And I'm sure members have been seeing me present, but we also work behind the scenes, meetings, online meetings on Google Meet and all these other virtual platforms. So lots of work go on, like a swan, lots of work under the ground, under the water, but you see the ship sailing smoothly on top. But lots of work under the water. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see the energy is a bit high, and I'll just throw you back straight to one of the very serious questions that members wish to hear from you about what sort of initiative do you have to preserve and protect our indigenous language and the cultural practices here in Western Australia? Like, you know, if you speak Swahili now to the kids, they just see you. How about Kalenjin, Nandi, and the rest? And some of the, you know, once, why is it not regular? Wazee wanauliza.
That's a very nice question, and I'm really glad that we are having this conversation, because cultural identity is one of our key objectives. One of the key pillars of Kitwek Association is cultural identity, both culture in terms of a way of life as well as the Kalenjin way of life, and language is an important one. But when you talk about Gutit Kogine Ningalolinga, really, the parent has the first obligation to teach their child that language. Go to Majeolegetau as play group, we are open to that as leaders. If parents would like such an initiative, similar or parallel to the Kiswahili language school, for example, as president, I'm happy to have a team look at that. But the most important one is us at home. Among ilej Kitwek kengalal gutit ameneti lakwet korongka gutit kowi, we will not really be able to achieve. The second one is we did not have sufficient interests in Ngalyanda na Agemwa in the previous couple of years. There is an interest this year, definitely GI. Yeah, like in the other year, Nagi bit COVID, there was a huge interest, and we had Kigitinye Kijana Ejata. So last year, we give it one interest, and then Kokwam the parent, Komutlakwet Kenya. So definitely the association is supportive, and as president, I will definitely be able to support in a big way.
Muten.
All right. Thank you very much. And before we started this meeting, when it was advertised, somebody asked which language are we going to use. Unfortunately, there was no response, and fortunately, we are doing it in English. Now, we came to Australia as adults, and I used to go to radio stations to teach. So I'm good in Nandi. One good fact is that we have children, and it is a beautiful thing. We saw the children yesterday. My children were there, and these children are bonding. So we need to start a Kitwek language school. Definite. There's no way we are going to grow without that. And on my assumption to office, we will need to start it. How we start it is we take my children with the children of maybe Steve or Justus or the friends that we live together close to North, so that we have them taught there as their play dates. There are people in South or Inako who are going to have their children who are already friends or already buddies. They train together and so much, so that by the beginning of the year, we would have known that so many children are interested in the language, and we'll start the language school. And definitely we'll go also seeking for funding, and it will be a Kiswahili thing. Now, the other thing is culture. And culture does not mean only Menjo. There are so many other things that we can do in culture. And that is why I have been in men camping, all of them. That is why when I say I'm present, I'm present. And many people would testify that I am there all the years, and we are looking forward to our September camping. And that is where we learn most of the things, and we will make it grow. And sometimes someone said the older generation have forgotten, because when we came to Australia, we did not have passage of rights in Australia. So it is assumed that we don't know, which they may be right at some point, but we're having fresh ones coming from Kenya. They know everything, and we'll use them. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mheshimiwa. The fresh ones, unfortunately, you have a counter.
I'm not countering that. I'm in agreement with him on that one. But this is not just a counter to Mheshimiwa, okay? This is just really, it's not a counter to Mheshimiwa. I do not see this as just a debate for here, for being president, but us having a conversation about our association. Kilia neitegele kinye ginet lagok ja musugul kuti. As we go home, let's think about that. Because why should we make it someone else's obligation? Kotko a campaign platform.
Thank you. Thank you,
for us.
Mheshimiwa.
That's the word for us, not necessarily for
Because
because it goes beyond me being president or my brother being president. We really need to think about that.
Thank you. So just to mention, there's a question in regards to SACCO, but I'll conjoin that question with this one. This building that we are in today belongs to Western Australia Multicultural Association, WAMA. One of the key factors that they say is we look forward to strengthening our ties with CAL communities, government, and other organizations to support Western Australia multicultural community and achieve our objective to enhance the well-being of our future generation. Please, if you need any interest, if you have any interest in contributing to our community and participating in future events, kindly contact us. Like, they are open to go be part of the people. The question is, we've been always mentioning about having a hall, a function area and everything. What is your plan on that? How would you achieve that? You know, we've been just mentioning it. How would you be able to achieve that? And there's also a question in regards to SACCO that Kitwek members are asking about Kitwek SACCO. What are the plans? Because we had CADI, and then we do mention that CADI is a Kitwek, but it is on a stand-alone thing, and then the membership of CADI is very low as well. So how would you be able to bring that on board?
Those are two broad questions. I don't think 2 minutes will do justice. I hope I'll be able to do a minute each. So on property, this is a dream that Kitwek has for us to have a home. We know that in the mind of every Kitwek member, we need to have a community hall, a community building. But how do we get there? How do we build our capacity to the level where we are able to get property that we can now pay for 30 years? That is something that we need. And that is why the foundational thing is that plan that I talked about, strategic planning. My view is that we can start with regular lease of a property. We can start with regular lease. We lease a property that becomes our temporary home as we consider. There are several options. NEMA is doing that, and the leadership of NEMA at one point was thinking about broadening, having community associations come together. KCWA is considering something. Kitwek too, it is something that we have been making applications, and I can confirm here that we had held 2 meetings with the Office of the Multicultural Interests over this issue of us having a place. And that is something that I have been pursuing for us to have a home. And if elected president, re-elected, I'll be able to pursue it further to make sure that we have a property that we can pay for, and then we can consider. The second question was, sorry? SACCO. So yeah, if members are interested in a SACCO in the sense of lending each other, a SACCO that lends money, that is something that we can definitely get on board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And quick to the pet subject is the having our own hall. That is my vision. That is the vision that we had, that we need our own home, a place to call home. And we are happy that since the other organizations that we are part of are getting their home in the near future, we are here now. We are in Kitwek and we need to have a home. We are not going to work from home. We need to work from the office. And we should learn to be physically present before we are able to have our place. So I will want to be physically present in all events so that we have kuzoea. Lazima tuanze kuzoea kukaa pamoja. That is what we are looking at. And to achieve this, it has to come from our pockets. And we also need to encourage our members to have capacity, like we have now quite a number of businesses under our umbrella. And not under our umbrella, but within ourselves. We want to register more ABNs for our members so that they can have that leadership role in getting us a property. But nonetheless, we have been very active in searching property, and we have formed like 4 WhatsApp groups that we are saying, these guys, let's go buy the land that we had identified somewhere. And the bumps that we hit on the road would not allow us. So this time round, being in the position of president, I'll be able to push. And we know exactly the buttons that needed to be pushed so that we can get that property in the name of Kitwek organizations. And for SACCO, we are running Kitwek Kadi, and it does the same thing. We are not going to quickly start a project and then jump to another one. As much as they say, let's do one first to be successful, then we'll come back to the next. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sami and Ezra. Now, we are we're just 2 minutes away from finishing, or 3, if you might say that. Now, these 2 paramount questions are very important. And as the president, and I'll start with you, Sami, as the president of Kitwek, and you know very well that there's issues of the passports in the Kenyan community and the certificate of good conduct, and especially getting the government services in Western Australia has been a big issue. What are your plans in making sure that the Kenyan community in Western Australia, in collaboration with other organizations or association, make sure that we receive these services at the doorstep? And to add on that one, because you're gonna get 2 minutes, there are issues with the visas, especially with the students. And given that there are new rules coming whereby if you're beyond 35 years and you don't qualify, you will not be qualified for graduate visa, then you can't go back to school. You're told to exit. So what mechanism as the president will you put in place in making sure that our students receive the most critical and important information as far as guidance and advice touching visa is concerned? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I think I'll rush quickly to the most important thing, and that is the visas. Things changed very quickly. And like some people in Kenya, anyway, let me not go to that line. Governments here have their policies, and a particular party in office have particular directions they want to take, and we are not going to change that. So what we are going to look at is comply. We cannot change what they have done. You cannot make any noise because already the opposition in the government is making the same noise and they can do nothing. So unless we think of voting, which is so much beyond us. So I think we just have to comply. And to comply, we've got to bring in experts in immigration to talk to our people. We have to be regular in that. We have to be spread out. Like in church this afternoon, the father in the church was talking about taking so many kids had been put forward. So he paraded them and said, these are the people who need to go to Kiswahili class so that they can come for Kiswahili mass. So those are the kind of things that we should be looking on. And I think I forgot the other question. All right. The passports is a very tricky thing because the same people back in the country having the same problem. And here, I think we are lucky we would be saying, we will have to talk to him in our language so that he can help the general Kenyan public. This is a question of a general Kenyan public. So we will have to talk and team up with other Kenyan organizations led by KCWA. And then we will support KCWA in lobbying to make sure that in WA we have a functional consular. Exactly. That is what they're there. We fought when Minister Mutua was there, and actually a name was slotted. And the name is still slotted there. But when Mutua was swapped, nobody has approached the current foreign affairs minister. But I think we should pursue and have that name posted. Thank you.
Thank you. So, in respect of visa issues, we have been organizing information sessions. We call them catch-up sessions or meet and greet, where students come together and we invite professionals. So my brother has said we should do that more regularly. We have been doing it twice, around the month of August for July entry, and then around the month of March, April for the February entries. But especially for this one, because these are new changes, definitely as president, I'm happy to even have it thrice in a year, because that is important. The previous one was extremely successful. We had positive feedback from students who attended. Lots of information was passed across. We had professionals, immigration agents who passed information on these current visa changes. So lots of advice was given. And it's important, it's incumbent of students to be, or everyone else affected, to be able to follow the law and get the right information. So we are instrumental in organizing those, and I'm sure those that attended benefited a lot. On the issue of passports, I can confirm that as president, I usually receive approximately 5 calls from members asking to advocate on their behalf. And I've been doing that with the Kenya High Commission and liaising with the President KCWA a lot. The inefficiency in Canberra is just perhaps only competed by their arrogance sometimes. And we just have to keep pushing. I have engaged the High Commissioner. I've talked to him and he tells me that he's coming to Perth And I have told him about that. There's no consular, unfortunately, there's no immigration agent at the moment in Canberra. I've mentioned to him about the consular office that we need in Perth. So these are things that we really need to engage. Unfortunately, engaging the Kenyan system is, we all know how it looks like. But I'm happy that the High Commissioner is somebody who listens. Thank you.
The meetings and the sessions that we need to have with students is that I'm happy to report that we do it on private capacity. On 28th of June, I hosted the students and they were visited by one person because the main speaker did not have time. They got committed and was an immigration agent, but someone else came and talked on behalf. So I had quite a number of people in my home to discuss those things. So I'm open and I will be helping in my private capacity in my home and maybe as president in official setup. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Ezra Teriot and Sami Muten. We are coming to the end of this fantastic session. It's been amazing. It's been just wonderful to get to know you again, Mr. President. And Muten, it's just been a revelation because most of us probably didn't even know you, but we're so glad you were able to come. But we still have one last question. And so far we've enjoyed the spirit in which you've done this. But as you finish up, one comment. Could you say one thing you admire about your opponent? Who wants to go first? Okay, Ezra.
Okay, that's a good question. My opponent has been consistent in his support for Kitwek programs. Unfortunately, I've not seen him step up to leadership position. But he has been as a supporter of programs, but as to being a leader, sometimes the men wanted him to lead, he declined. And the men said, sasa huyu mzee, you're supposed to be sasa mbona huyu mzee anatuacha tena? And they look up to him. So, but as a supporter, he supports. As a leader, he has not raised his hand yet.
Thanks. My president is the current president. The one thing I support, I like about my president is that when it comes to paperwork, I think he can do paperwork. He can do paperwork, and we've seen that. And that's the one thing I like about him. And in the previous election, people put up their hands and people proposed me. And suddenly we found my president seeking for re-election. And I told my people, no, he's my guy. Let me step down for him. He wants a second term. And we agree, if you want a second term, that's too easy. And I stepped down. That is why you did not see my name. We've given you 2 unopposed terms. Is because we had that confidence in you. And there was another thing that is trying to slip out of my mind. What? There's something that is slipping out of my mind that I was really gonna say, but nonetheless, he's been a good man, and we've given him 4 good years of leadership. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yeah, hold on, kidogo. You're guiding the panelists or the moderators. We are the one to guide you. Come, kidogo. Now, I know you're leaders, but now we're leading you now. Now, thank you, members of Kitwek Association. I know you're here and you're watching on online. Allow me to just stand and quickly to ask 2 people to ask questions. 2 people a lady and a gentleman, just 30 seconds, and they will respond, the candidates, and that will end the official debate for Kitwek Association 2024 presidential election debate 2024. There is Common and Dr. Chebi Ward. But now these people are leaders of Kitwek Association. Can we, do we have any other? Okay, you guys, you're genuine, and we will see what to do. Any other person? If we don't get any other person to, oh, thank you. There's a lady here. Okay, a microphone, please. Okay, tuanze na a beautiful
See,
lady.
Federance.
Anzia na Jency.
Okay.
Yeah. You have 30 seconds to ask the aspirants or the candidates.
Okay,
Question.
I think I have a question. We have been seeing Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide having a football tournament between the two. Is it cities or
Yes.
states? So I wonder why Perth we don't have one, yet it's a big. We have big number of footballers who usually play. Even we have girls team, but then we don't get any support. The last time I got someone and asked about that, and they told me that Mr. Chairman said we don't have that money to support people to go to those states to participate. I don't know if that's the thing.
Just to correct, is actually all states except Western Australia do have interstate soccer tournament. Huyo ni Masi Tarus wa huku Perth ameongea.
Asante sana Masi Tarus for your question. Actually, these questions are, it could be what you think they should introduce when they go to the office or what they should do. And that is a very valid question. Akuna Jency? Okay, pay Jency.
All right. I will speak in Swahili because mwachamila ni mtumwa. All right. Je, swali langu kwamba wengi ni wanafunzi hapa, tunagaramia au tuko na shida ya mental health. You people, mnasema mnatusaidia. Yes, right. We got some of our students here. Tunashindwa kulipa fee. We study at ECU, some of us ni gharama kubwa. Yeah, mko na kiti ya kusaidia mtu akaa amepass home. Mnamsaidia aende mtaani. So mnaweza kutusaidia tena wengine. Unajua cash converters kisame loan agelibani hata higher interest. Toso implement kita no that in Kitwek ageliban at a certain rate favorable. Sasa
Atabata mtaguine bwana. Ala ngoro maswali jamani. Kama veterans watangoja mambo iko kwa agency.
Asante sana, Ambassador. We will give a chance to the. I needed only 2 questions because we are running behind our shit. Do we allow that question, please, guys? Okay. Final one, Corey.
Okay, thank you. My name is Cornelius. So my question is, how are you if you have voted the president, how are you going to mitigate the effects on the students who have just relocated? Because from last year, around 2022 December, the whole of last year, we had many students. And we just came in, we never knew all about Kitwek until you are just introduced slowly. So we want something that will be doing something like an induction. How are we going to do the induction apart from just the meet and greet of the students? Because we always just go meet, we are told about the challenges. So that is one question. Another question, almost the same like this one for school fees, but this one is for health. For example, I'm schooling in DNA Kingston. We were always given a health cover for around $2,000 or $150,000. So I have a friend who got an emergency surgery. She went and spent $10,000. So she's going to pay for the cover with the $2,000. Now, if he or she was a member of Kitwek, how is she going to benefit? Because, or what are you people going to put in place for someone like her? because we are happy about the welfare, but this one about the health, the cover always cover around 3,000. So are you going for the shift to push for the 3,000, pay school fees, or are you going to treat yourself, you see? So that is one thing that is crucial for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. To add on that for health as well, if you are here and you have diabetes, is it diabetes? Ile ya kudungiwa insulin, the cover doesn't cover. So mtatusaidia pia kwa hiyo.
Alafu, as you answer these questions, our able president aspirants, remember this was wajamaa wenye wameuliza maswali ni majenzi na wanaweza tembea. So we don't want to see them coming to visit you. So please, we would rather answer these questions before they unfollow you. Thank you.
Msinitembelee tafadhali. Until I become premier.
2 minutes each, please.
When I become premier. Okay, let's start with the question regarding sports and intersports events. So usually these events are held on the sidelines of their main gala. So normally the way they organize interstate, and it was a beautiful thing, we were there in Adelaide, is that the first day is the gala, and then the following day they have the intersports. Yes, and that is something that we as soon as these elections are over, the gala committee takes over, or rather is inaugurated. That is something that we are considering. There was no question about that. That rumor, si ukweli, about the chairman not having funds. In any case, of course, the members would vote from their, would probably buy their own tickets. The association would probably facilitate some stuff, but definitely Kitwek taking a team of 15 people times how much we would have to really get substantial funding for that. But often, I'm sure even members are usually willing to go the extra mile, because this is part and parcel of our own personal development. Support for, so that is something to consider, the gala to be a 2-day event. There was also the proposal to have a business sort of event on the sidelines of the gala. Now, so the gala committee will be seized and they will be seeking your opinions on that. Support for students, that is something that we usually have a pamphlet that we usually give new students on the services available and all that. As to the SAC, I think that's a SACCO that you are asking for, really. Sort of a SACCO, not the CADI investment thing, but a SACCO where we actually lend each other money. I think that is something that there's a need in that, and that is something that that we would need to discuss. I'm happy for us to have that discussion. Lastly, on the question about health, and so our platforms, Kitwek permits for a special case like that, which is not covered by welfare, and it's a special case, a case like that, we usually can come together as a community to support, even if it's not a typical welfare issue. That one, an exceptional case, those exceptions are within our provisions as an association. It's just that maybe somebody does not know. Should be able to communicate more. Thank you.
Mweshmiwa.
All right, thank you. I think for the insurance and staff, the president has answered that correctly. And for soccer, and I think that is something that we need to look into. I was a manager, Agricultural Society of Kenya, Shaw Eldoret branch, and not a manager, but a committee member. And what we had 3 days, and every day had a theme. And the final day is when the most senior position, person in position would visit. The others were like events, and then the finals on that day. So I think Kotapka is doing that, and now the Eastern states are doing that. Then definitely, WA, we will do that this year. whether I'm president or my president is president.
That's
Yeah, and
Thank you.
for funds, I think part of it was answered by the president. And then when we were discussing CADI in the process of building up CADI, we were talking about places where you can have money to borrow from, but incidentally we tailored it to suit into Kenya, but still we can still run the same organizations and set programs to tailor WA needs, because it is our organization. We built it. So we need to build it more to target whatever we want to plan. The constitution is not built, is not cast on stone. Definitely. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and also the members of Kitwek Association. Makofi yenu tafadhali tunapoendelea. And now, as we come to a conclusion, we want to give you an opportunity mujipigie debe 1 minute each. Nataka muombe kura our members na wenye wako online, the members who are listening and watching live and direct. Muten Sami, simama please, omba kura 1 minute.
2 minutes.
Oh, two, yeah, yeah,
The timer is on 2.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You got me on that because it was on the okay.
Thank
yeah, go
you very much. My president and also the candidate for this year's election. Thanks. We've had a very nice conversation and we've been happy about that. You saw us laugh all the time. That means we are compatible. The main thing that we are here today is to seek your votes. I, Sami Muten, present myself for the position of president in this year 2024-2025 as fresh blood. We want to have a change, and I will drive that change. We have said we want to start so many programs, and we've enumerated all that during our discussions. We cannot going to add more. Only that I come in with fresh blood, I come in with energy, and I come in as a participant, physically there in all events, as I have. History tells it. There is no, in my flyers I've said, I'm a member of the men's group, I'm a member of the children's sports, I'm a member of the sports, I'm a member of welfare, I'm a member of athletics, I'm a camper, all those, so I know everything. And in some positions, I've not been able to put my hand up when I know there's somebody next to me who is as strong as I am. So definitely, I have respect for other people, and I will lead a team being available. Asanteni sana, and I need your votes kindly. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Now we go to Ezra Cheriot, please.
Good evening, Kitwek. This is Ezra Cheriot, current president. Please renew my mandate. Tested, proven, tried, delivering. I have, together with your support and the team, managed to lead this association, and you have seen the successes. I have enumerated them. I have mentioned about funding, which has been very successful, which, by the way, is a record for Kitwek Association under my leadership, because I saw we needed to be sustainable, and we have achieved that. Going forward, I would like to deliver a Kitwek Association strategic plan and a welfare sustainability plan. Those will be key in making sure that Kitwek goes to the next level, because only with those instruments will you be able to attract funding worth 50, 60,000 upwards. Mentorship programs, deepen those ones. Get an office for Kitwek Association. Bring more partners on board, and I've been seeking to do that, reaching out to various partners, reaching out to various stakeholders in government, non-governmental organizations. And they are on board. There's a bank already that is partnering with Kitwek, and will be under my leadership, hopefully, if you renew my mandate, start new programs on financial literacy and several other things. So I'm here to seek your mandate, to be able to work with you, to lead the team, to be able to deliver these programs for your needs. The focus is on members' needs, Really, that's how the member is at the center of my leadership. What does the member need? And as a leader, I will be focused looking at what we need and getting feedback on you so that we can tailor the programs to what you as a member needs. Ezra Cheruiyot, please vote for Ezra, President, Kitwek Association for 2025. God bless you.
Thank you once again, our aspirants or candidates. We wish you well, both of you. You're all equally able. And we want to thank also the wonderful and the great team, the moderators led by Dr. Chemtai, Alfred, and myself. And also a big special thank you to the entire KCW, what is KCW coming to my mind today? To Kitwek Association. You guys, you've done an amazing job. All these questions came from all of you, all over. You have all your questions answered, and I hope wamejibu. Tunakubaliana wamejibu ama wajijibu? Wamejibu, si ndivyo? So it is up to you guys to make a decision. In two, these gentlemen, one of them will be the president of the Kitwek Association 2024-2025. Asanteni sana, and may God bless you. And you know, as you go home, Mungu, our lead to save journey. Can I please request one lady to close with a word of prayer? Oh, Alfred.
There are some snacks and sorry, wewe unatuletea maneno ya KCW. Hapa tuko Kitwek. So I volunteer to pray for us, and sorry Moses and Chebi for not asking your questions because we wanted the agencies to get an opportunity and the time was not also on our side. We also have chai, courtesy of Benson here, nini naitwangaje? Benson and Karen. Oh, tumishi bora. Ubishi bora. So ubishi bora. So before we conclude, we know some members are also will be running, so maybe just mameni waone wale watu watasaidiana na kina president. Some of the leaders who have been nominated, kujani tu mbele muonwe, unajua za zingine nguo inaweza kufanya mtu akuvotie. As they come in, I just want to give Franco just to say hello to everyone. Franco is the one hosting us here today. He's the reason why he's here. So
this is a surprise for me to give a speech, and it is a great honor to be here with you this evening. It's wonderful that in Perth we have this amazing variety of cultures. A very quick question. Do you know how many languages we speak in Perth? In the census, every 5 years, they ask us questions. One of the questions was, what language do you speak? Me, not dialects, languages. Me, first one, no good. It's a dialect where I was born in Vasto, Italy. So I speak Italiano and English. Then they added up all the languages. How many did they find in Perth? Have a guess. 800? And so on. We could go on. Most people do not go beyond 50, which is a lot of languages. If they say 50, you have to add 200. That's how many languages. The whole world is here, and it's wonderful to be part of Kenya. Now, hang on. How do you say thank you in Kenya? Asante. Asante, and keep up the wonderful work that you do. Asante.
Thank you so much, Franco. So, musikuwa na wasiwasi na time. Mzee haenzi enda mahali sahi anapata entertainment. Franco, we know Abruzzo Molise. You know the hills in Abruzzo in Italy? Yeah, I've been there in the one here. So I'll give each and every one of this one's, what do we call candidates? Just to say Jambo, that's it on your position.
All right, good evening, everybody. I go by the name Layo Atito, and I'm vying for the position of event coordinator. If I count heads right now, you know I've been doing events, and most of them are voluntary. So I'm just requesting your vote, and let me bring my expertise to you guys and see what we can do. Everything that happens around is about events. It's not about dancing. It's about organizing. Thank you.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Cornelius Kiprop. I'm vying for the seat of social media coordinator. Just vote Cory and vote integrity. I don't have much. For me, you've seen, I'm very passionate about social media, just posting, marketing, and putting the events on another level. Yeah, so we want Kitwek not to be in Western Australia, but globally. Kitwek is a big name. We have t-shirts. We've never seen them. We want to sell the t-shirts. We want to sell the bands. We want to sell Kitwek everywhere. So social media coordinator, just vote Cory. I love you guys.
Thank you, Cory. To the next contestant.
Hamjamboni nyote. Kwa majina naitwa Kevin Kipiego. I'm vying for the seat of the student leader, Kitwek Association. Naomba kura zenu, though I'm unopposed currently.
Asante. All right.
Nashukuru.
Asante.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening again. Makofi kwa Gen Z. So my name is Anastasia Kosgei, and I'm vying for the position of event coordinator. Musione ukubwa kama mimi mwenyewe sijatense. Anyways, just vote Anna. Vote for young blood. Vote for fresh blood. Vote for Gen Z. Vote for more. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Alfin. I was doubling up as the events coordinator, communications and social media. Thank you for considering that we need to share that position. It was too huge, but I did manage, I think so. We had a few of our events that we inaugurated last year, the main one being the youth night, and I think everybody enjoyed it. I am kindly requesting and asking for your vote as the vice president. Consider that I've been mentored and I've gone through the mentorship, and plus I have a lot to work with the president that will be incoming, a lot to introduce to our community and a lot to do. And I've always been available for our events, and I pray that you will consider that. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you,
Tafadhali,
Alfin. Thank you.
Hi, praise God. Amen. Praise God again. Now, my name is Walter Kosgei. I'm contesting for vice president. You've seen the two gentlemen here today. They have very big strategies. And all they need is somebody to help them execute. Myself, professionally, I'm a strategist. Yeah, so I did a master's in strategic management, and I've seen the two guys have very good strategies. Apart from that, I did political science. So I'm a very big mobilizer. And even if I see in this room, I know almost 90%. I've met you, and I've enrolled almost 70% of the new students to join Kitwek. Voluntary. And I was not a member. So what's happening is Kitwek leadership in the past has done amazingly very good. And it started in 2016. The progress it's taking is very nice, but we are lacking there are some few nitty-gritties that we need to put in place first before we go to the biggest strategies to make things work better. Because even in registering leadership, we've tried to register many people, but we're having some technicalities. So we need to resolve first the recruitment, because you can't lead just a few people. We have to lead everyone. So bringing people on board is very important, of which I'm happy to do it. My work is mobilization. Presidents, mobilization, watu kukuja events, uniachie.
Asante Walter. Thank you very much, Walter.
Karibuni, asanteni sana.
Yeah. So as we come to a conclusion, Makofi are the contestant, please. They've really done an amazing job. Now, there is a very, very special, great leader of the community who thought of coming with an idea of supporting the debate of this year, and we want to appreciate. He is a member of the TLT, and he's really done an amazing job. To have, I'm telling you guys, we are the first people to do debate, a live debate in Western Australia. We need to applaud ourselves, by the way. We're doing an extremely good. Now, Nelson Kiro, we want to thank you, man, for thinking and mobilizing and putting resources, personal resources, to making sure that this event has been successful. Makofi yake tafadhali. He's been a vice president of Kitwek Association, and also mpishi wetu ama mpishi bora led by Benson. Makofi yao tafadhali. They're doing an amazing job. We cherish you guys, and we love you, and we pray that God bless you and open ways for you. And finally, did you have something, Alfred?
No. I think we also want to appreciate and thank Franco and Wama for giving us an opportunity to be here. Ngamwaini dagnandi ingjaga tugul na itinya tum anan go community ko lid ni ko mingu na in key members for the next 1 year. Mauna da Nelson. So ngitinya birthday anango gina ba community mo nyaeu go ngala kitjage bukan mapema. Ko mi olin ni chairman jam gabi ya rambe na makai na lagi ya. So I think we'll finish. Thank you all for the members for coming in, as well for coming in to be part of this inaugural debate. Thanks for also appreciating the timing and everything that came in by all through. So asanteni sana, God bless you, and looking forward to doing more great things with the new team coming in to guide us through the community. Asanteni sana, God bless you, and best wishes to you too as you go, and all those who will be running. Sisi kama raia tutawashika mkono. God bless you.
Asante sana, Makofi Ambassador, and Makofi ya Dr. Chemutai as well. Please simama watu wakuone, please. Wale wa mtandaoni wakuone pia, they need to see you. May God bless you. Thank you, Daktari, and for putting all the questions together, and entire Kitwek Association. Now allow me to welcome President. Amesema anatubariki na maombi. Alafu tuende tukule, kuna chai, snack, alafu tuende nyumbani. May God bless you. Thank you, and this meeting is officially finished.
So thank you all for coming. We have had a conversation. It was just a conversation about our dreams, about the association, what we hope for. And the beauty of it is that we all love this community. Whether it's you who has come or those of us who have been having the conversation, we love this association, this community, and it is this community that has grounded us here. Let us keep at it. Kongoino, a quick announcement. Please let's help to clear up after we are done. So after the snacks, let's support the team to clear up before we go. Another quick announcement. A second announcement is that we will be launching the portal where you can manage your membership and your welfare issue. So you'll be going to the portal and you will get notifications. So issues about, I don't know, I can't remember when I paid and so on, that will be sorted by the portal. So just a quick announcement about that. Otherwise, thank you so much. I'd like to say a prayer, then we end. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you, Lord, for this community. We thank you for the conversations we have had. Thank you for this great gathering. We thank you for the gift of community. And we pray that even as we part one from another, may you bind us together in your love. And above all, We thank you for this place that you have given us, that we belong. We pray that you may bless each and every person, and bless this community and this state and this country. These are prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.